I've heard Memgraph being mentioned before, and the way that I think I heard it described was that it's almost like a DuckDB of graph databases. Is so what are the benefits there of Memgraph? It's just small and fast and, like, why do you like it?
Well, I like it because it's open source fully.
Yeah.
A lot of you get involved in Neo4j. It's really geared at funneling you to enterprise.
Yeah.
And I come from an open source background, so everything we do is open source and everything we consume is open source. And then getting, if Neo4j's enterprise product really actually was compelling, then okay, I get it. But Memgraph's open source is actually compelling and fully functional. There are some additional features, as always, but generally speaking, like Quadrant, the base database that is open source is extremely usable in production. So to me, that's a big distinction. But the underlying design, and I'm really not an engineer expert. I haven't even reviewed their source code or anything, but what I know from my bird's eye view of it and reading docs and community and interacting with their community, yeah, they've really focused on performance, so using in memory. And so, I mean, the difference between storing stuff in memory and disk, it's going to be a lot faster. And Neo4j keeps everything on disk. It's using cache most likely, but Memgraph took kind of the reverse approach. It said everything's in memory. And now if you want to try to store stuff on disk, it's kind of a feature. And people do want to do that as well for much larger graphs. But Memgraph, I think, kind of caught on to the idea that you don't actually need a massive graph. What you
Yeah.
really want is the right graph. And that can be constituted of, 100 nodes. But as long as it's the right graph and then you can traverse it and filter it the right way, it becomes very valuable. And doing it quickly and on the fly, like we're doing, loading stuff in, deleting it. Like we'll literally create a database and then just delete it, right? Because when we're done with it, we're done with it. So
Wow.
it's a really interesting use case of it fits really well in that paradigm.